So the thing about Sombra, why she's really good in two CPs is there's two main reasons. One is the proximity to health pack from objectives. I mean, all Sombras they often play in health packs closest to objectives. Yeah. Anyway, but having control of that health pack or hacking it, ensures that even if your healers is not able to heal your team, your tanks or DPS have that little bit of extra survivability. And the other thing is Sombra can quickly get back to fights uh, after she translocates to a health pack. And the second thing is in 2CP, Sombra is really strong when you take control of the point. Like let's say you went in, you won the fight, the enemies are trickling in, they're coming one by one from spawn or like two, three people coming. And Sombra she hacks people and ensures that they're easier to kill. And it ensures that capturing the point is easier because these two CP maps require a lot of coordination, and uh, you often use all of your resources to team kill the enemy team once. And, it's frustrating for all of us, that sometimes it's not enough as well as the enemy team respawns and they come in one by one and they start contesting. Then some of your allies get picked, and then you start to trickle and lose a few more people, and you get stuck at 88%, and then you never win that point again because you had when you had momentum, you were still not able to capture the point when you team kill the enemy team. So Sombra excels in those situations where you have control of the enemy objective and they're coming, like two, three people or one by one, where her hack is the best powerful ability in the game at that situation. That's why, and her EMP as well. These two CP maps, they played on close corridors as well. So her ultimate ensures that whatever aggressive ultimates your team is going to use, uh, it uh, there are more higher chances that 50% more chances that it's going to work if Sombra EMPs everyone else. I mean, if CMPs many people as many people as possible. So and they have Team China have a Zen for Discords. Sky is Anna, and there's one tip which I want to give to players is Anna's heal grenade. What it does is it increases the healing from allies, um, uh, whether C heals or Zen heals. So instead of Zen doing like 30 heals per second, he's going to do like 30% more, which would be around 42 heals per second. So yeah, so like that's why Anna is not only a really good single target healer, but she facilitates her flex healer as well by um, you know giving them opportunities to heal more than they should. So that's why Anna is really strong. I'm really glad she's back in the meta because she's really high mechanical skill uh, hero like Zen. Where you have to care about your positioning as well, and you always proactive doing always doing something. Also making sure that your positioning is good. Having to keep track of enemies, and you have to identify the aggression you need to take at every situations. Yeah, and so talking about Team Canada, they have a standard dive with a Sombra, which Surfer often plays. He likes playing uh, Sombra on 2CP, and they have a Genji with Azilities. He's one of the best Genjis in the world. And okay, so let's roll in and analyze how things go.
Three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, so one thing we can immediately analyze is XQC as main tank, which you can do in your own solo queue games as well. He's scouting. he saw that there's no one on this high ground, which is 12 o'clock in front of him, and he just scouted. Okay, he see how Diva and Winston they body blocked this area and ensured that all of their team are able to go behind them, into this area, ensuring no one gets picked. Okay, they saw Zarya over there. Okay, so one thing was sure that one thing Team Canada here like did was XQC is still analyzing, and looking out for enemies, and he sees that when he came from the entrance, he saw that there was no one on this high ground over here on this left side. Now he came here with with his team, and as you can see on my 11 o'clock on high ground, he sees that there's no one there as well. So uh, so it's now Team Canada knows that the enemy team is playing in that room over there, in front of the stairs, and the Winston and someone, I don't think they have identified the Doomfist yet, but uh, the Winston is playing on the right side behind the barriers. Okay, okay, so let's analyze this from Team China's perspective first. Team China is playing in this room, and they have Winston and Doomfist on this left side. I assume that the plan they have is, they're playing in this room. They want the enemy Winston and Diva to dive at them while they are safe inside that room with Zarya, and uh, the Doomfist and Winston dive at the backline where Anna and Lucio is. And in the meantime, Crystal will try and get a hack on someone important, and they'll be diving wherever she gets hacked on. They'll be diving at the target. So the from their positioning here, my analysis is that they're looking for this strategy, where they're playing in this room, they want someone to dive at them, and they counter dive at the targets in the back. Okay, so now we go to this game from XQC's perspective, and here we can see why XQC is one of the best tank in the world. What he does is like really, really amazing, and what we can learn, and use it in our solo queue games as well. So we already stressed about the fact that XQC was zoning and watching out where the enemies were, and he didn't saw anyone on this high ground and that high ground. Okay, so before I explain this, there's a term called map control, which a lot of you already know, and a lot of you may not be familiar with, but you already know what it is. So an example of map control can be explained. Let's say you're playing Reinhardt on Hanamura. On first point, you're going with the team, you go to choke, and you charge in. And then you instantly get killed with the spam that's coming in. So what happened there was that the enemy team had control of that area, as six, because they were grouped as 6 people over there, and they have map control over that area. And as soon as you went in, they immediately bursted you down. So map control is having that control of an area, where if the enemy team comes one by one, you are instantly, or like you as a team, as a coordinated team, you are able to eliminate them. And this concept can not only be applied to like Hanamura, but if you just pull out that picture and put it in another map like Lumbani or Kings Row, where you're grouped up, and if someone comes in alone and you kill that guy, so this is how this is a simpler way of explaining map control, and how you And as tank, if you have map control, you create space for your team. And another example is you playing in King's Row, and I often see in low elos like the tanks make mistake that they just stand on the payload. So what it does, it when enemy team groups up and comes back, they fight at the payload, and the payload is stopped. And you have to win that fight for the payload to move forward. But instead, just leave one healer at the point, and all five people move a little bit forward, so that you have better map control, and the enemy team has to push you towards the payload. And even if you guys lose the fight, the payload is still moving. Sometimes these simple concepts will save you like a minute or give you one extra fight where you could have fought like 3 times, instead of where you only fought like 2 times because you didn't utilize your map control. It's a really fundamental advantage in Overwatch, which is a fundamental concept. And it's a concept you need to know if you want to climb higher in the elos as well. So after moving on, and so now we'll be seeing why XQC is one of the best tank players in the world. We discussed that Team China's strategy is to make XQC dive into that room, while the Doomfist, Sombra, and the Winston dive the Ana or the Lucy in the back, or whoever targets, crystal hacks. But what XQC does is really brilliant. XQC and Surfer does is really brilliant. Where
My ultimate is charging. Want to join me?
okay, XQC, instead of going to that room, goes to this high ground. And a lot of people, the mistake they would have done in a solo queue game was they would have gone into that room and tried to fight, Zarya, Zen, and the Ana in that room over there. But you cannot do that because there's a Zarya over there. There's a Winston playing close by. That's an area which the Team China has map control over. And if you go in there alone, XQC will be antinated. There's a Zen. He'll be instantly bursted down. He'll be giving Zarya all charges. But what they do is extremely brilliant. Surfer goes straight to the point, and XQC goes to this high ground over here. Okay. Now, if we just vertically split this map, Team Canada has map control on this left side, and Team China have map control on this right side. You see, the fight hasn't even started, and Team Canada has, just by zoning and identifying enemy positioning, just found themselves in an extremely favorable position, where the Surfer is capturing the point. That means that someone has to go and contest the point. And the healers are trapped in between there, and XQC is zoning in that high ground. Surfer is capturing the point. The Winston's over here on the right side, and the Doomfist is behind. At this situation, as Team China, this is still a great strategy. They are looking to counter dive. They know that the healers are over there behind Diva, and Note does a really good job here as well. Like, she's peeling for her supports. She's ensuring that she's not leaving her supports by themselves. But the most important thing that's happening right now is that the objective is being captured by Sombra, and this puts tremendous pressure on the defending team. So now they have a difficult job, as in Winston, Doomfist, and Sombra, that they have to instantly jump at the backline and get a kill, or they lose the map pressure and maybe potentially lose this part of the map. Okay. Goksu dives at the backline. Yeah, but the Diva is peeling for them as well, and here we can see that Barney is playing Lucio, so they have an advantage where he can speed boost Anna and Lucio, away from Doomfist and Winston, which uh, maybe Zen would have not been able to do in that situation. Where Lucio is a bit evasive of supports, and he ensures that he speed boosts. Um, he speed boosts Anna out of the. See, he's speed boosting. Okay, see. Now, Team Canada survived the dive. Now, Surfer is still capturing the point. He's almost to 33%, and now Team China is feeling the pressure because the fight's going to start to happen on the point. Because they need to get to the point. And something really awesome happens here as well, which I want to focus. Okay. We'll be again seeing why XQC is one of the best tanks in the world. Okay, he goes to this high ground.
My ultimate is charging. Want to join me?
Okay, so while the enemy Winston and Doomfist dived the Team Canada healers, and Sombra has pressed on the point, and Zarya was trying to contest the point,
Healing enough.
See, XQC was able to dive the healers and counter dive the healers, and the agility was able to flank here as well, and they
Nanopod is charging.
were able to trap Zen and Anna in this room and were immediately able to kill Zen in this situation. So Team Canada supports, they're still alive. They managed to stay alive, and we already saw earlier that now, while Team China's Zen is dead and Anna is being pressured, in that room where she's with Genji and Winston, now Team Canada will be going back to point while the tanks retreated because they were not able to kill the Lucia as well. Lucia and Anna. So it's now just simply by zoning and having better map control. One small move. XQC didn't dive the Team China healers. He just went to the high ground. They split the map. They split the map and had map control on the side of the objective, and and they were able to kill the Zen, and now they're in an advantage situation. Winston's going for Sky. He's sleeping. See, at this situation, now Zarya is getting no healing at all on the point. And Surfer, I think he was fighting with Zarya and he got pressured, so he translocated back to the health pack. XQC is sleeping over here. And we can see that now Diva is following up with Winston as well. And she just used her nade, she just used her sleep dart. She doesn't have it for like 2-3 seconds, so she's dead. Okay, so great strategy. They killed both of the Team China healers, and they haven't lose any healers yet. They, from here, it's like they basically have won the point. Now it's a 6 against 4 brawl, and
My ultimate is charging.
see, how smart play from XQC created space for his team. He zoned the enemy areas. He positioned himself in such a way that he was able to facilitate his team. You know how Note played. He had a crucial part in peeling for his supports, and how Team Canada was able to win this point. You know, they have like Crimzo almost have nano boost. XQC is 57%. They have like uh, nano blade combo. You know, Diva's on 63%. Young, you know, it didn't work out, so he might probably have to switch to Diva as well. And the Doomfist may have to switch as well from here. So they all now, and the Zen switched to Lucio. So, but all of this was facilitated by, you know, smart positioning and smart engages, and how Team Canada, you know, from this small decision. I mean, if any other tanks, I mean, we often do mistakes, you know, because everyone's learning. Like any other tanks would have straight dived to that, you know, Zarya, but you know, but see what they did. They chose map control over just, you know, aimless fighting. You know, they XQC played so smartly that he facilitated this, you know, capturing this point. And I mean, everyone had part. I mean, everyone, like Azility's flanked from here, and he helped kill those healers as well. Then Note came in, he helped as well. But you know, like Team China had a great plan. They had a Doomfest, they had a Winston. They played in this room. They wanted someone to come at them and fight with them. The Zarya would be playing outside, so that she would be contesting point even if needed. There was a Doomfest, and they were ready to make any counter move that Team Canada was going to make. If XQC would have dived, you know, he would have been needed, and the Doomfist would have dived and the Winston would have dived the back line, and you know, Zarya would have peeled for supports as well. But what XQC did smartly was they chose to have map control and bring fight at the objective. As soon as the Sombra is on the objective, you know, now Team China were pressured to immediately fight and win the fight, or you know, they would potentially lose you know, much control of the point even without fighting. You know, so
My ultimate is charging.
Want to join me?
and Team Canada was able to win 50% of this fight without even fighting. You know, I mean, of course they were like they understood what Team China was trying to do. They took that aggression and they were able to punish them. You know, counter dive them and counter. But see how smart XQC is. You know, and whoever shot called, you know, how smart. I think it's XQC and how smart he is, and you know, and this is, you know, why Team Canada won this first round. And there's a lot of things we can learn and take from this as well. So thank you guys. We'll be doing the second part of this map as well in my future videos, and please leave, you know, comment or any feedback you have. My grammar is not so good, so please don't mind about it. And yeah, please let me know how you guys like it, and see how, you know, there's so much things we can learn from these pro plays as well. So, and I'll try to make some videos where we can just take these concepts and how we can all improve and make Overwatch a better place. Yeah, thank you guys, thank you so much. I'll be seeing you soon.